I walked into the courtroom exactly 27 minutes late. Her attorney was already deep into their presentation. I could hear her laughter echoing down the hallway before I even touched the door. Loud, confident, cruel. And he was there too, her colleague, grinning like a man who believed he'd just conquered something. The judge didn't look pleased. My chair sat empty, a visual metaphor they leaned into. Her entire side radiated smug assurance, interpreting my absence as surrender. I said nothing upon entering. Just handed a single folder to the bailiff, never breaking eye contact with her. That laughter. It died the second she saw my face. They had no clue what I'd just delivered. But I did. That folder contained the slow, precise dismantling of their facade, a performance that had started unraveling 3 months earlier. It began with a wine glass on our kitchen counter, one I never used, with lipstick on the rim. Not her shade. Not mine. Alongside it, a receipt for a hotel she swore she'd never been to. Rachel and I had built 12 years together, high school sweethearts who carved out a life from nothing. Her home. My company. Her growing career. We were supposed to be different. We promised not to fall apart like everyone else after the I do. She told me she loved photography. Said she liked preserving fleeting moments before they vanished. I should have listened more carefully to how she said it. Then came the late nights. The dead phone batteries. Business trips with gaps that didn't add up. She swapped perfumes, started doing her makeup for Zoom calls. I told myself not to jump to conclusions. That trust meant giving space. But trust doesn't shatter, it decays, slow and quiet, like rust creeping through iron. And then there was Ethan, her business partner. Too charming. Too familiar. His touch lingered longer than it should. I wasn't suspicious at first. I noticed because she stopped looking at me the way she once did. The night everything clicked, I'd come home early. Her car was already parked. The house was dim, a strange tune playing from the speakers, jazz. A genre she once claimed to despise. I followed a trail of clothes that led straight to our bedroom, the one I paid for. I didn't storm in. I stood silently outside the door and listened. Her laugh. His voice. The quiet intimacy in between. I didn't yell. I didn't break. I left. Drove to a diner. Ordered a black coffee. Sat in silence for 2 hours staring at the rain sliding down the glass. Then I made a list, not of what I had lost, but of what they would. First step. Disappear emotionally. I became agreeable. Gave her the space she assumed was detachment. Guilt made her generous. That was useful. Behind the scenes, I moved strategically. Transferred company ownership into a trust. Shifted money offshore. Removed my name from the house deed, the one she believed gave her leverage. What she never knew, I'd built my business with fail-safes in place. For betrayals I hoped I'd never face. I hired a private investigator, not for proof, but confirmation. He brought back everything I expected: photos, receipts, call records, hotel bookings, even a recording of them plotting how to squeeze me dry. She laughed once, said I didn't have the spine to fight back. I made digital backups. Dozens. Stored them across 3 continents. Set up dead man switches in case they got clever. Then I filed for divorce. Quietly. Let her think it was her decision. She served the papers first, smiling like she'd won. Told me to vacate the house. I left, after removing anything that truly mattered. Not jewelry or furniture, but things like the original deed, admin credentials to company servers, contracts with buried clauses that unraveled under legal scrutiny. She was building her case on a foundation of dust. Ethan, assuming a cushy position in my company, resigned from his job. What he didn't know was I'd already voided his offer and installed a compliance officer in his place. HR sent him a formal letter. Offer rescinded, pending legal investigation. The look on his face must have been priceless. She filed for alimony, certain she'd bleed me financially. But my records showed losses. Loans. Debts. All recent. All legit. All hers now. She thought she married someone soft. What she didn't know was she betrayed a tactician. The night before the hearing, I sent her lawyer a file. Inside, Hard evidence of her affair, misrepresentation of assets, and, my personal favorite, a notarized letter from Ethan's ex-wife, detailing how Rachel once coached her to lie under oath. So yes, I arrived late to court. Deliberately. Let them believe I was desperate, defeated. Then handed over the folder. And watched her face crumble. The judge reviewed the documents slowly. Her lawyer began to stammer. Ethan tried to interject and was swiftly silenced. Rachel couldn't find a word. I offered just one. Everything you thought was yours never really was. Silence. The gavel came down. Divorce granted. No alimony. No division of property. No custody. No assets. Just the two of them, alone and broke. It wasn't rage that lingered. It was clarity. She tried to erase me, rewrite our story into something disposable and shameful. But betrayal is an art. And so is vengeance. The difference? Only one of them requires patience. And I had all the time in the world.